Yo, what's good, crypto family? It's your boy, Crypto Tales, and I got an opportunity, and it's calling, and you better pick up your phone and answer it before you miss out. And on this episode, we're gonna get into the Gala music node for all you people out there who decided to make a difference in your life, to earn passive income. That's gonna change the way we listen to music and earn passive income on the way. So let's get into it.
Opportunity is calling to quit all the stalling, packing these bags until I'm balling. Baby popping bottles like an alcoholic, you know.
So for those who don't know about Gala, this is GALA'S, currently sitting at 22 cents. It's a play to earn crypto. They also focus on the metaverse, aka the GALA'Verse. The all-time high was as high as 71 cents. And in February, they launched a new music platform that will be going live in the fall. And they were also offering licenses for music nodes for anyone who wanted to contribute, earn passive income, and be a part of their new direction in the metaverse. Let's get into it. So basically, Gala Music, they're trying to set music free on the blockchain. Gala Music is changing the music industry forever. We're launching a decentralized world and inviting pioneers, artists from every genre, and their fans to join. So their latest drops, Gala Music has teamed up with some incredible artists to bring you some even more incredible NFT drops. All drops are limited in supply, and all Gala Music NFTs will have future listen to earn potential on the Gala Music platform. Snoop Dogg is their biggest promoter of Gala Music right now. They also have other artists that they have not disclosed yet, but currently Snoop Dogg has an NFT song called The Bounce. There's actually 0 left out of 624, so they were already all sold out. He's also dropping a stash box, which is 26,000 Gala. There's only 799 left out of 25,000 of them, and that is currently 26,000 Gala or $5,000. By purchasing this, you also get exclusives. Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Gala at the door. This stash box NFT is limited to 25,000 copies. Each box upon opening includes one of 17 song NFTs from Snoop's new album Back on Death Row. In addition, holders of the box can expect to receive exclusive drops such as films, comics, images, and unique concert attendance opportunities. Song NFTs will also have earning potential on the Gala Music Network. Owners of all 17 songs will receive massive real-life and digital rewards, including an exclusive concert plus pre-party with Snoop, limited edition Death Row bling, and more. So if you're investing deeply into him, they're going to give you all the benefits, which I believe is worth it if you have the money to spend on it. And if not, then whatever. You can just purchase yourself a little NFT, get the newest Gala NFTs before they're gone. So it's time to learn more about this node. Let's get into it. The decentralized Gala Music Network is supported by music fans like you who operates a simple node software license from their own home computers. You can run, collect, and earn. Operate a music node makes you a pioneer. You're not just part of the Gala Music Network, you're what powers it. When you contribute to the ecosystem by keeping your music node online, you are rewarded. So let's check out this video. So first thing you do is you purchase a license to operate a node. Second thing you're gonna do is set up the node software. It's quick to set up and simple to run. And number 3 is earn. Pair music NFT with your music node to earn. So for all music fans, the player nodes, if you love all kinds of music and want to support the growth of the centralized music network, which is better for artists and fans, this node is for you. Plus, as a player node owner, you get the chance to surprise with the NFTs for every drop on Play music NFTs from every genre and artist on the platform. Pair any music NFT with your node to earn rewards. Be one of the first pioneers on the network. Welcome to the future of music, supporting the artists you love directly, help emerging talent shine, earn rewards for every listen. So the benefits for fans, what fans can get. Gala Music is built to help fans enjoy music by purchasing an NFT, operating a node, or listening to the song NFTs. Fan unlock the full power of Web3 music and entertainment. Exclusive tracks, releases and merchandise, access to brand new content and unreleased music, collectibles that bring the worlds of music, film, and games together, perks like live concerts, in-person experience and metaverse events, direct conversations and artist AMAs, community co-creation and voting. So these are just some of the benefits you're gonna get as a fan. Just want to listen. If you don't want to buy a node, you can just listen to music and still make passive income off listening to your favorite artists that you love to listen to anyway. So this is their 2022 roadmap. Gala Music launched in February 2022 and is being built with iconic industry-changing artists and their communities. This is how Gala Music will evolve throughout the year and beyond in partnership with the growing community of music fans. So in spring 2022, Song NFTs, the biggest artists are partnered with Gala Music. Listen to their music, buy Song NFTs, and participate in the drops of exclusive content, never before heard tracks, and new albums. You can also listen to Gala catalog through a web player on the Gala Music site. So everything looks like it's gonna start happening in the summer of 2022. We have the music experience, expanding beyond music NFTs. Gala Music delivers new ways for fans and artists to connect through game, art, film, concerts, and collectibles, in-person moments, and digital experiences. Artists will continue to explore ways to give fans and collectors exclusive access through NFTs. Also in the fall, we will start earning rewards. When the ecosystem goes live, listen to earn rewards launch as well. This means that the fans can earn Gala Music token as a reward for operating nodes, listening to music NFTs, and streaming songs for up and coming artists. And in stage 2 in 2023. They also have where artists can join now. If you want to sign up, if you're an artist, they ask you a few questions. You can sign up, be a part of their list, and if you get access, then you'll be able to sell your music as NFTs on here. So this is what artists get. Gala Music is an ecosystem built specifically for musicians. It includes an NFT shopfront, a decentralized distribution network run by fans, and a player to stream song NFTs. You receive revenue from NFT drops and streaming, a more authentic way of engaging with fans, long-term sustainable NFT strategies, control of and full rights to your music, new collaborations, create formats and funding support, a better range of experiences for fans, sustainable ways to support emerging artists built in the ecosystem. This will be big for artists who are out of their deals with labels and don't have to worry about them owning the rights to their music. They'll get paid more for whatever they put out than they do currently. And I feel like a wave of artists, once they start getting involved with this, it'll become huge. And we have Snoop Dogg, one of the biggest influencers of music, lighting the way. So here's the Gala Music No Facts. If you have any questions, they pretty much have the answers to what you need to know. They're actually currently sold out of all nodes. So you should have got in early. Could have got it for $1,200. If you want to get in later on, you'll be able to get in later on. The first 25,000 nodes were $1,200. If you get in later, the price will be higher. So unfortunately, you can't get in now, but if you follow this and you like what you see, you'll be able to get in a little bit later. For those who already got their nodes, I have an update. Sarah Buxton, who is the COO of GALA'S, did an interview with Paul Barron. And let's check out some updates on the music node. And hopefully they answer any questions that you've had since purchasing in February.
It's great to have you on the show, Sarah.
It's lovely to be here, Paul.
Excellent. All right, first of all, let's get into your background, a little bit about how and what you've been up to, how you came to GALA'S, what's kind of the mission of what you're trying to achieve there.
Amazing. Good opening question. Let's hope I don't take the whole interview with this one. I and the people in the Discord, the GALA'S Discord know all about this, but I effectively got tricked into working for Gala. Gala is, I'm 40 later this year, not many people know that. And Gala is actually my very first employer. So I have always been a gun for hire. I've worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, some of their secret projects, some of their very successful projects, launching products and services right across entertainment. to start with, but I also spent a lot of time in fintech and blockchain. And Gala is a home for me now. And the reason it's a home for me is because the reason I never had an employer was because I needed ownership and freedom. And they're the two things that blockchain gives you. So Gala is a natural place for me to be. And I've been here since, well, we were definitely sub 20 employees when I joined over a year ago. And I'm delighted to see the growth that the company has experienced and continues to experience. It's challenging. And I know when we had our tiny pre-chat, because we didn't really get to do one of those, we were talking about herding cats. And essentially, that is my job at Gala, herding the cats, getting everybody with all their energy and enthusiasm, facing the same direction and following our vision, which is essentially to bring the possibilities of blockchain in a far more accessible way to everyone. And the lovely Mr. Brink, who you just mentioned, said something I thought was quite just beautifully put a few months ago, and it was that blockchain elevates gaming and gaming elevates blockchain. And I thought, you know what, that's exactly right. And if we think games can do that, just imagine what music can do. And there's a lot of more people listen to music than play games. So that's an exciting thing. But that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm planning on not going anywhere. And we can get into music in a bit.
But how are you guys addressing the process of consumption and or use case for Gala Music? Give us kind of the protocols that are in place to help grow Gala in the future.
Okay, so there's a lot of layers to that to dig into. I think the first one is we have to look after artists. That is our first and foremost responsibility. In the same way as independent games developers, creators, people that wanted to do something different but never could because the industry became, in gaming, very formulaic.
Right.
You followed a pattern. We've all seen it. Music isn't that dissimilar. And the reason we started talking to artists in the first place was at GALA'S. And we started realizing that some of their war stories were very reflective of the ones that we were tackling head on with gaming. So artists and streaming and the amount of income artists make up of streaming is absolutely no new thing for me to talk about. Everybody is aware that they get very little for essentially giving an awful lot, their time, talent, creativity. And artists during the pandemic, of course, have seen a huge decrease in the ability to get in front of their fans. Things like concerts and festivals haven't been a thing. So they're looking, and they've been looking for new ways to make revenue where they maybe are still sharing the lion's portion of that with these people that have got them on these very long, laborious, in a lot of instances, contracts. So we wanted to start there and say, well, hang on a second. Music, even today, is incredibly restricted. But what does that mean for the future of music? What does that mean for new talent? What does that mean for new artists? What does that mean for anybody that doesn't know somebody already in the industry and therefore can't break through? And you saw some of that with EDM. You saw some of that with some of the hip-hop artists and rappers that have come through on things like SoundCloud and YouTube and latterly things like TikTok as well, just trying to break through and break into an industry that is very, very walled. So what if you could use the NFT movement? What if you can use this real and this new sense of community first to give those artists the support they need? Now that becomes quite exciting. If you can support those artists, the next step in that formula is rewarding the fans for doing so. So as a fan, if you find somebody that you think is going to be the next big thing, you should benefit from that. Not by owning them, though. We're not trying to replace one thing with the equivalent of, these guys have been in contracts and restrictions for years because they thought that that's what they had to do to make it. So we don't want to recreate an old world in the new world. We want to create a different one. So what we're looking at is listen to earn, which applies a lot for the emerging artists. So when fans come in, they give them their time, they give them their earlobes, they give them the support. And as that artist grows, because they've got a sort of an interest in that artist, because they've bought things from that artist, they in turn also benefit and they get the rewards too. So really this is about artist freedom. We were chatting with a group. I don't think we've announced that we've signed them yet, so I'm not gonna disclose the name right now, but we were talking with a group and they were saying the most frustrating, but they're a platinum selling artist. The most frustrating thing that they've experienced is they have to cut all their songs to 3 minutes. They were like, what if we want to do a 6-minute song? What if we want to do a 12-minute song? We're not allowed. We can't. We don't have any creativity left in what we're doing. And we know how it rolls. We know that this is about selling the album and packaging it up in a specific way that the market can handle. It would be really lovely if they didn't have to do that anymore, and that the fans can actually experience, music in a way that probably hasn't been experienced for a very long time. And that's what we're essentially trying to do. So set the artists free, set their music free on their terms, and then give fans the benefit of that as well through these lovely experiences and the ability to earn from their support too.
Blockchain is going to open up a new era of how artists will really kind of leap to the next level. Talk to me. Okay, so when you think about that, all right, artists going to leap to the next level, true fan to artist, direct communication, opportunity for revenue on both sides. It's a win-win kind of thing. How do you see this looking, if you think of it in the very narrow scope of what people understand and use today, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, the typical vehicle in which you consume music, is that going to change in the metaverse because we're going to see a completely different format, or are we going to see a lot of different formats start to rise?
The reason Gala Games is in music, and I've had this, as soon as you raise your head above the parapet, you do get trolled, which is great fun. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, what do you know about music? And it's, yeah, I know, I'm a music fan. I understand blockchain. I get and I believe in what a decentralized future can do. And most fundamentally, I've got a huge amount of love and passion and proof behind me when it comes to experience and storytelling. And that's what this is about. So when you think about, let's be honest, and we've got some music industry experts and music expertise coming into our business. Of course we have. We're not naive, and we're certainly not ignorant, but we need that. We do. However, the most important people in our company right now are the people that understand crypto, are the people that understand blockchain, are the people that can design experiences. They're the people that are going to shift and move the dial on this, because the music industry has had this dilemma for years and it can't and hasn't fixed it. There is a reason why gaming is worth 3 times as much as the music industry, but it's not as prolific or ubiquitous. So I think, what we're trying to do is really challenge the formats that exist now, because it's not about taking something that's already in market. It's about creating something completely new. And where we get incredibly excited is, we have players spending 4.5 hours on average on one of our games already. That is a huge share of somebody's eardrums and eyeballs, and what could you do with that? So this isn't about music accompanying a game and people not getting paid for that. This is about music that can affect that experience. So it can level you up, it can help you recover quicker, it can make you run faster, it can get your whole team a boost. So you're using music in new and creative ways that haven't been done before. And then you flip that over and you say, well, is this about concerts in the metaverse? Sure, you can do concerts in the metaverse, no problem. That's been done and we've seen it, and Fortnite championed it in their game already. But what does it mean when you've got that interoperability of, the art from that concert, the experience from that, metaverse concert to in real life, to free concert entry because you've got the NFT. So it's that really lovely sort of blend of different genres, and you can pull film into that and music videos into that and content ownership of those, and how that might work with a game alongside it, or the sort of the gamification you can put into those formats. And artists are really, really curious about this space and what they can do, and we've got the platform, the ecosystem to support that. So for me, it's less about we're going to be the new streaming service. We've seen from people that have tried to, with some money and some credibility, that have tried to enter that space, and it hasn't worked. We don't need another streaming service. We've got several. We need something that, gives people access to the songs and the tracks and the artists they love in a different way, that they benefit, the artist benefits, and actually there's this lovely connectivity across lots of different media formats as a result of that too.
This is going to be interesting to see adoption, because it's the old school in methodology. It took a while to get, Napster off of, the vinyl. It took a while to get MP3s off of, digital and into a streaming model. This has been really about a 3-decade process. Do you think it's going to move faster in blockchain? So it's starting now, 2022. How quickly do you think we'll see mass adoption for music in the blockchain?
I think we are going to be surprised, even though I'm anticipating it being faster than we think. So with Play to Earn, the speed that's taken off, and we've got, and Jason talked about it last time he was on the show with you, the amount of AAA games that are coming to blockchain, the ease at which we're having those conversations now. People are open to it. This time last year, people were terrified. You're ruining the integrity of the game. It's friction. It's this. It's that. And now they're saying, actually, no, because this isn't about the blockchain. This is about content ownership and experiences. And actually, the fact that you need the blockchain in order to be able to do that, fine. But we're not quoting protocols. We're quoting, game titles. We're quoting player experiences. We're quoting whatever else it is. It's actually not about the protocol at all. So I think music, once it finds its way through this, it will explode. Because I think right now people are experimenting, and you see it with Snoop all the time, and we're really supportive of that. We don't want to own, we don't want to restrict it. Like everyone's had enough of that, and us getting involved so that he can buy his back catalogue and own the stuff that he was doing when at Death Row, and Doggy Style and all the other things that he's now got his hands on, so that he's back in control and he can do what he wants as an artist. I think that becomes really exciting, and being able to have those conversations with people like Snoop, where he can say, okay, well, I want to put some stuff up here. I want to try this. I want to try different price points. I want to see what the fans want. He jumps into our Discord and talks to everyone. And like we were, he's a really famous, very credible artist that's now on a Discord conversation with someone. That has never happened before. So I think, breaking down those barriers, why does it have to be a certain way? The world's changed. We're not gated anymore. Like you said, social media has completely changed the landscape. Not always in a great way, but it's one of those things. Change happens, and you can either be at the forefront shaping it, or you can be behind chasing it. And we always want to be at the forefront shaping what that looks like.
All right, so Snoop, obviously, everybody kind of looks at Snoop as kind of the metaverse personality, so to speak, right now that's kind of leading the charge. Do you see a lot more of mainstream artists as well as the indie artists coming into play? Because I've only heard of, when I look at Audius, we've had the Audius guys on many times. We've kind of seen their roster of people that are in music and trying to make this somewhat of a quantum leap into blockchain. I guess the question will be, you got to get through all the studio connections, because the studios themselves are still having, in most cases, a very tethered, contract to many artists. Then you have a layer of new artists that are coming in and maybe thinking of new distribution models. What is the strategy of Gala on how you guys are going to look at the music industry and being able to entertain and draw those artists into the platform?
I feel like you've been listening in some of our phone calls, Paul, to be fair.
Yes. We have a reverse tap going on here.
It's great. We've got a strategy that hits those keynotes. So the first phase of what we're doing at Gala Music is all around content. So that is bringing on incredibly notable artists, groups, people that fans will know and often adore. That's really important for two reasons. One, we need to legitimize the space, so more people come into it. I think there's a crazy amount of wallets, isn't there? There's like 70 million registered blockchain wallets. I think that was end of last year.
Yep.
So all of those people are potential customers, obviously, and supporters, but that's a tiny fraction of music fans, tiny. So encouraging those people into the space is better for everybody in the space. Growing Web3, growing, the understanding and the acceptance of this new world that shouldn't be seen as scary or is male dominated, but shouldn't be seen as scary or intimidating, and for everyone. So I think those mainstream artists understand that. What's really interesting is Gala's really good at making friends and working in partnership with people, because we have this. We don't want your IP. We don't want your exclusivity, maybe for blockchain, so that we've got a story to tell. But certainly if you're making revenue elsewhere, if you've got fans elsewhere, keep being there too. We just need something special and exclusive. And what's interesting to artists with those established fan bases, but with those contractual needs and obligations, is there is a wonderful way of still collaborating and coming together. And that's something that having the gaming business next to us and as part of what we do gives us that freedom and flexibility to work with them in a way that satisfies their obligation and their terms and conditions that they've obviously signed up for, but allows them to experiment and explore and open up these new opportunities, which in the future we'll see where they go. You do have artists, some of the really well-known ones, who are now in charge of their own destiny. They own their own rights, they own their own stuff, and those guys are inbound frequently. Our Gala Music event back in early February that we ran just over a month ago, I think it was, that has created a lot of interest, as you would expect. And what's quite nice is that from a strategy point of view, that early doors content, that established artists, the names I recognize, the people I trust, I'm going to go through that journey with you because I understand and I believe in your brand. And we'll make that as frictionless as possible. And we've got lots of UX and UI sort of cheats in there that allow people to go into this world without feeling like they're having to do that hours worth of investment to understand it. And I took my mum through setting up a crypto account and wallet when she was playing Townstar, and it was the most painful experience I've ever had. It was infuriating. Her trying to, put in a Word document her seed phrase and wondering if she could just call someone if she lost. I mean, just a nightmare. So just trying to get that really easy in. Then moving, we've started our node network already. So that ecosystem is, we've got that initial, what I would call the sort of the player nodes, but the founding base of that of 25,000. So now we've got something to be dangerous with, that we can play with, that we can test, that we can build. And that will come online in the fall, so that they will then be able to start listening to earn from their NFTs, really, host the content in the system, all of the things we know. It does take, as you can imagine, there's lots of moving parts to get that ready and to get, all of the legal obligations ticked. I'm very close to quite a few projects. I would never call us a project because we've got lots of things going on. We're definitely a business. And I don't mean any disrespect to calling others a project, but they've got a different strategy to us and they're focusing on one thing. And some of the challenges they face. So we definitely have been sharing and talking about it. There's a lot of crossover from what we've done to get to where we have in the industry. It's no secret. We've quoted that we're investing $2 billion in games this year. I think we've already spent 180 of that by the time I'm talking to you on games and licenses and supporting developers. We're going to do something probably not to the same scale in music, but 50% of that. So then once we move from content, we move to experience. making sure, and you'll know from the conversations you've had with Gala before, utility is hugely important to us.
Right.
I got respect for the PFP projects and the drops and that world. But I do want something deeper for the things that I'm involved in. And I think, again, the utility, the earnings, the reward, the interoperability of things, that's really important. So making sure that anything we're putting out on Gala Music now does have function and reward later. So you can use it. It will be part of it. It's not something that's just a standalone independent giveaway. If it's on our sale, if it's on our platform, it will be part of our ecosystem. And then, so that's through the summer, building those experiences, giving people those reward, some of the rewards, obviously through fan engagement, through the artists coming on. We have got some amazing plans for some of those in terms of concerts and things. When you've got the NFT, there's free access for you. And then the Node network will go live. And so at that point, that's when we can start with the emerging artists, and we'll start onboarding those. We've got a really healthy sort of pipeline of those guys right now who will come in, and you can almost think of it like a bit like a Kickstarter model. So we're not going to put restrictions around it, but you just need to prove that there's a fan fit for what you're doing.
Sure,
and once there is,
sure.
you can go up the up the tiers effectively and access more and be able to do bigger drops and offer more things to the audience. But you just have to show that the audience wants it. So there is a sort of a curation and a proof aspect in that. But again, it means that we should hopefully discover people that would have either had to sign their content and their talents away for 20 years plus a 7 or not be able to access it because they can't fund themselves. And even if you think something as basic as, if I could earn $1 a week from 20,000 fans that love me, I can be an artist.
Yep.
It's
There you go.
why aren't we doing that? Like, that just seems crazy to me.
How long does it take for a break even to occur? I wanted to kind of find out about that. On fans that don't own an NFT or a node, will they only be able to earn rewards when they listen to music from emerging artists? How would that play into it, especially around new artists, things of that nature? Can you kind of go into that side of things from the node aspect?
Yeah, so I wouldn't want to talk about sort of what is effectively return on investment for a node, because it depends how active you are. You have to be contributing to the system to be rewarded by the system. So it's not like you can just buy a node and benefit and make passive income. That's not what they're for. So it really depends on how engaged you are, how many NFTs you've got, the volume that's going across the platform. So there's lots of variables there. I think over the next, I want to say 48 hours, there's a bit more information being released from the guys that have been working on the tokenomics and economics around the node network and the ecosystem in general, which will be released, because I think, we've learned a lot of things with through the games side of the business that the music side of the business is going to massively benefit from. One of those things is the flow of information. People really like information, which is odd. So I guess the deal is for the early player node purchasers, we always make sure that people that have sort of jumped in with knowing very little, having to have a lot of trust and saying, well, I think this is going to be a good thing, and I think based on what I know about these guys that this is worth doing, buying and doing and supporting. And that is why our prices never go down; they always go up. So when the player nodes come back on for the next sort of wave a little bit later on, they will not be the same price. They will be more expensive because the information I'm talking about would have been released. You can see much more clearly, okay, this is the trajectory, this is how I earn, this is what this means, this is how the NFTs work with nodes. And we've got some really lovely methods around how NFTs work alongside those nodes. So if you don't own a node, but you own an NFT, how you start accessing Listen to Earn, and how you start accessing rewards from those NFTs based on that node network. So there's a really, I think, inclusive way of approaching this as well. Definitely in terms of Listen to Earn, that is mainly targeted at emerging artists because they're the ones that need the support. If you think about the established artists and the established bands, and they want to do an NFT drop and they decide that that's going to link to exclusive song content, that's going to link to concerts, that's going to link to whatever it is in terms of experience, clearly that's going to do incredibly well compared to somebody that nobody's really heard of, but that happens to be incredibly talented. So from our point of view, it's really flipping the model around. And I would say actually all the artists we've spoken to, now maybe some of them weren't telling the truth, but I'm sure they were. The biggest thing for them after, getting recognized and rewarded for the work they do, rather than, the brand that people have built them into and everybody taking a piece of that, they really care about the future of the industry. So they really care about these emerging artists. And, a couple of the guys sort of said to me, and they're now in their 40s, have sort of said, I wish that there was somebody when I was 18, 19, and I felt like I'd made it and it was the only way to make it when I signed that contract, that there was an alternative for me. And I didn't feel like I had to sign it. That's what we need to do. We need an alternative.
when you look at Snoop and kind of just his whole overall, persona, so to speak, I wonder just kind of how does this compare? Like, for instance, how much volume did Snoop get on the NFT drops that he recently generated? Was it massive? Is that public knowledge?
Well, you can see that from looking at the site. How many stash boxes we were selling. We're running experiments with Snoop, and we're not shying away from those experiments either.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and people will benefit because we're in experimental phase. So people are going to pick up things that maybe they couldn't normally because we're testing. We're testing price points and stuff. So we did a limited quantity of 500, and we just wanted to see. And this is some amazing stuff. I mean, Snoop stuff he's just outrageously talented. And we just put effectively a Dutch auction in place to see, where the base would go, and that was very much to our community. We didn't really advertise that wider because we were curious. Within an hour, that had gone, and they were selling for significantly more on the secondary market. So we know that there's a demand for Snoop. Snoop is quite prolific, which is great because I think it's great for the industry. I'm very curious as to what will happen when we bring a couple of the people we're talking to right now. So we've got some genres covered. So we're, hip hop is huge for streaming, and we know that that's, I think, it's significant. It's like 40% more than anything else in terms of genre being streamed if you're going to go into genres. Gala Music, in the same way as Gala Games, is a platform for you to access the stuff you love. That's the point, and we're supporting those people that are building and working and sharing this space with us, and we're helping them with NFT strategies. We are not a partner that says, have some money, and then we disappear. And I think our community is starting to realize just how much work we put in the backgrounds with all of our development partners. We are there in the trenches doing it with them. We are not just funding them and leaving them to it. So a lot of those games teams are incredibly close to us, and a lot of the artists are as well. We used to talk to Snoop 4 or 5 times a week. It's constant. And so we're scaling hugely because we know that we need to give that kind of attention to people as they come into the space. And someone like Snoop, he's okay with the space. He's testing, he's playing, he understands it. Imagine if you don't know anything about it. You've got a really steep learning curve. So for us, we talk about, a couple of the guys in the labs team use the saying a lot as well, like, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? Because you can just put a foot in and it's okay, and we'll be there. The one thing we won't do at Gala is we will never do just a standalone thing just because we can. So we won't do a one-off drop that doesn't connect to something else or doesn't give residual value, because that's against everything we stand for. And I think in the early days when people were experimenting, particularly in the music space, artists were coming out and they were doing these drops, and it was great, and people almost like FOMO'd into them. But then a month later, they're looking at this saying, well, what is it? And what do I get? And what do I do? Yeah. And it leaves everybody in a really awkward situation, because as a fan, you feel a little bit cheated, even though I love you, but ow. And then what happens is the artist is chasing the floor price, because I've now got an NFT with my face, name, brand on it in the secondary market that's plummeting. So now I'm having to give more stuff, but I felt like I did it already. So it ends up as this really weird race to the bottom. And that's what you have to avoid. And that's why, the economy is this sort of self-sustaining ecosystem that music has to be, is why it's so important that you need things around it, and it doesn't have to be a streaming platform. And yes, you should absolutely be able to play music, and you should be able to earn from supporting artists, but it has to be something different to what's already out there. Otherwise it's not fun, and it's not meaningful, and it's not going to create more value, and all of those things are important. There is there's nothing off the table in terms of what we want to explore, and we're doing it with games as well, and we're learning live and in front of everyone in that regard. I think for now, when we launch our Gala Music token, that will be the token, and we will take the community through that journey with us if and when we decide to explore artist-specific tokens. There are no plans on the table right now for that, because quite frankly, at the moment, we don't need it. We can see the numbers, we can see the rewards, we can see the upside for the artists, and artists are going to earn so much more money than they earn now, and the fans are going to benefit from that too. So from our point of view, we're never scared to do that, and you've seen some of the launches we've done, and some of the and coins are nothing new to us in the gaming industry. Coins have been around forever. They're like your gems and your treasure chests and your all of your collectibles in games. That's something that we're really super comfortable with. I think for me personally, and this is an argument I have with people internally, if I go into a department store and I want to pay, I don't want to pay in one format for one brand that I've bought, another format for another brand I've bought, and another format for another brand I've bought. That is a really crappy experience for me. And then I've got to maintain 3 different token values all at the same time. So for us, it's, we'll go out the gate, we will have the Gala Music token. We are very, very happy with where we've got to with that, and the modelling around that, and the economists and the various other people that have lent in to make sure that we've got something really robust. Once we unleash that to the world, and we're very happy with that it's sustainable and doing what it should be, then we can have other conversations. But right now, we need to be focused on making sure what we've got is the best that it can be. And really, I think we're revolutionizing enough things at once for a little minute. And so whether we come back to it later,
why would
we'll keep that open.
Okay, so the question would be, why have the Gala music token? I mean, if you have you've got the Gala token, what's the purpose of the Gala music token? Would it be, I guess, is it going to have some new functionality within it, new utility that essentially is going to isolate? Because you mentioned not wanting to use multi-tokens in different kinds of exchanges.
Yeah, so we, as you know, we have, and our founders' nodes will always be, they're our founders' nodes, so they're always going to be looked after because they're the founders of the entire ecosystem, not just Gala Games. But we want to do different things with music, with the listen to earn versus, some of the game elements and the earnings in games. So we do need to make sure that the music offering and the game offering, that there are different ways of earning there. So it's going to get quite complicated from a management point of view and an economy point of view. We don't want to restrict any of our games because of what we're doing over in music. So that's why we need, these are two different instances, even though they obviously coalesce in the same ecosystem effectively.
Sure.
But that's the use case for that. So in my awful analogy of department stores, games is a different shop. Like it's a,
Gotcha.
And there's a lot of cross-pollination between the two, but essentially they are taking different things and we're getting rewarded for different things as well.
Cool.
So there you have it, folks. Gala Music is trying to change music as we know it. I'm bullish on the direction that they're moving in, and I think this will be huge for the gaming, music, and metaverse community. Follow at Go Gala Music if you want to stay up to date on all their Gala Music information. And as time goes by, I'll continue to update you guys on anything new that drops on this Gala Music node. But that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you stay bullish. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.
To the moon like NASA. When the markets crash, you be crying, get your cash up. I hear this ringing coming from a phone. Opportunity is calling, I'm like, what's going on?